Hey y'all, welcome back to the Laid Back Homestead. I'm Crystal, and today I just wanted to do a quick little garden tour and harvest video. It is unseasonably warm here. It's the first week of January and we are in the 70s and it's humid. And this is gonna last for about a week and then we'll be back into the 30s. So it's very hit or miss here this time of year. I am in zone 9A, Southeast Louisiana. So our winters are always this way, but I do have some things that need to get out and I'm excited because some things are actually starting to head. I've been waiting for this for a while now because I did not write down what I planted. So I've kind of been guessing this whole time at what things may be, but now I know. So I just take you around and get this harvest going. So this was the bed that had my 8-foot Cosmo in it. I just came out, I compost in place. So right now I need to come bury that in, but I just threw that on top. These things are finally starting to grow. For the longest time, everything was just sitting really stagnant. And I think the 8-foot Cosmo is what took a lot of the nutrition out of that bed. So now those things are kind of taken off. Over here, we harvested everything after that last freeze. This bed is growing parsley and a smidgen of cilantro. Again, I had just come out and threw some compost on top of all of these beds, so I need to come work that. Now this bed is really sad. I don't know what's going on with it. There was a lot of pest pressure in the beginning, but I'm looking to see. I mean, we have something here. Yay. Maybe I'll get something out of this bed. There's some cabbage back there that, again, is just not doing well. My snapdragons, though, they're hanging on. They are not in bloom at this point, but they've done a good job all year, so they'll be back. Now, this bed, I'm actually really surprised with. This bed had the least amount of bug pressure out of all of my beds. This is our golden rod celery. I think that's what it was called, goldenrod. It's supposed to have a yellow hue to it, but it just looks like regular celery to me. But this bed gets the least amount of sun. As you can see, it's shaded. And nothing else is shaded right now, but yet it has some of the best growth out of everything that I'm growing right now, which is it's just odd to me, but I will take whatever I can get. I don't know. I think there's a baby cauliflower in there. I was starting to worry. I hadn't been seeing too many cauliflowers. So here I have some Brussels sprouts and another snapdragon and some more celery. Cilantro. I sprinkled a bunch of my dried cilantro seeds from last year. I just went around all the beds and just sprinkled cilantro everywhere because it grows, but it only grows here for a short time. So if you want it, you got to plant a bunch of it and harvest a bunch of it at one time. Now this, I don't know what it is. If you have any guesses, I think it may be a cabbage, but I'm not really sure at this point. That definitely is Brussels sprouts, but this guy, I don't know. And then this is some flowers. This bed, I'm finally getting some broccoli, which is exciting. I had a lot of pest pressure in here. I mean, that guy's puny still. And my cabbages up front here were already harvested. And yes, I do chop and drop. Compost in place, chop and drop, all that. Free food for the plants. This bed, unfortunately, also had a ridiculous amount of pest pressure. But I'm happy to say it looks like we handled it. This is some cabbage, Napa cabbage. Same here. Hopefully we have enough growing season left. Our growing season here for Brassicas is not very long, so we're always playing catch up. Again, this is another, I don't know what it is. Is it a cabbage? What do you think? Cabbage? These I thought were going to be cauliflowers, but they're not. They are all purple broccolis, which this was my first year growing the purple broccoli. I've already harvested one head Tasted great, you know, no issues with that. My only thing is, for something like broccoli, I want a really big head. This just doesn't produce that big of a head. They get, you know, an okay size, but then you could see they're already putting a lot of their energy into side shoot production, which is fine. I mean, you know, you're going to eat all of it, but would I grow it again in place of maybe one of my larger head broccolis? No, probably not. I mean, it's a cool novelty thing, but that's about where it ends for me. The English peas are doing really well. I'm finally starting to get some peas. I haven't harvested anything off of here yet, but this is the Lincoln variety. If you live where it gets warm quickly, or you have winters where you get warm spells, I find this pea really does a great job. I get a really good harvest every year. It's always prolific. And even though I'm always trying new pea varieties in my yards, I mean, I always plant out a bunch of Lincolns. And in fact, that bed back there needs to be planted out with more Lincolns for sure. Coming over to the hydroponic garden. This was my twin broccoli. You can see this is the second major head that this one plant produced. It's past its prime. I need to harvest that today for sure. But it's also got more side shoots. We've already harvested so much off of this plant. It's absolutely insane to me. It's just insane. So this was my first time I ever had a twin broccoli. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Brussels sprout, I think Brussels sprout here. Not sure yet. This guy looks like it's just now starting to come up. If you can believe it or not, these were all our cotton ball challenges. One, this guy right here, it's being completely shaded out. 2, and 3. All 3 of these started with just a tiny seed in a cotton ball placed directly into the system, and they're doing really well. Now, I am starting to see what looks like some Brussels in there. Do you guys pinch the leaves? I'm always questioning whether or not pinching the leaves is a good idea. And then here, these 2, I do not know what they are yet, but if you don't know, just about everything in here was planted out at different times. So, I mean, as you can see, we had a tomato here that we lost in the last freeze, my big Brad's atomic grape. So I literally just planted that out probably, I don't know, a week ago. So things in here are all at different rates, growing at different paces, and that's okay. Now this is a little bit of a surprise. This was a volunteer tomato. I get volunteers all over my yard all the time, but this guy came up and he survived our last freeze. We got down to below 27 degrees, supposedly, but I thought for sure he was a goner. And he's still here, trucking along. I mean, he does have a little bit of damage, but I mean, he's just hanging on. So we'll see if that does anything. I have my sage here. It's the only real thing growing in my green stalk. Then again, we just harvested and replanted out here. We had harvested a nice big cauliflower. This was where we harvested the purple broccoli main head from. You can see it's still doing some side shoots. And this is about as big as they get. So, I mean, like I said, if that's your thing and you want to grow something for novelty, give it a try. I'm not sure what's going on in here. It looks like something's trying to happen. So I guess we'll know soon enough what that is. And on the end, this is another Brussels sprout. And if you can actually see, there are Brussels. I may actually get a Brussels sprout harvest. Back here is my herb planter. Dead basil, lots of cilantro coming up. My green onions are getting shaded. I probably need to come out and prune some of these leaves back, but green onions, chives, a whole bunch of dill in there as well. So I harvest that as I need it. My pot row, this is kind of more of a propagation area, but I do have some cilantro growing in there and a maple tree that was growing in another pot we put here. And then I got a bunch of trees for free for making an Arbor Day donation. They sent me like 10, 15 trees. And then here, I think my husband's trying to propagate bamboo. I think that's what this is. This is definitely his project. I didn't have nothing to do with that. But these are all crepe myrtles and I believe a redbud, and one other one I can't remember. This is supposedly a tropical plant, but I have not done anything to protect it this year, and it's still blooming. So I don't really know. Maybe I just got lucky. This guy needs a good pruning too. So back here, I have some more Brussels. I believe that's a cabbage right there. Garlic finally coming up, and some more Brussels in the background. I thought I had a big cabbage in here, but it's really, if it is, it's not doing much yet. I have a red cabbage. It's also not doing a whole lot, but I guess we'll see. This bed, more garlic. I have my chamomile. I believe that's what that is. If it is, it's the first one I've ever seen bloom, and it's the first one I've ever gotten. Again, I really thought these beds were going to do so much better. I really, really did. They get the most sun out of the yard, the most winter sun, and I had such high hopes, but it's not looking good for me. So I don't really know what to do about that. Here I have some more garlic. That was probably the first garlic planted out. And I don't remember if these are turnips or radishes, but I'll keep an eye on them, see what they do. What's funny is I threw some carrot tops in here. It's like a compost in place. And you can see that one decided to sprout. So where there's a will, there's a way. And for sure, this is exciting. This is by far one of my favorite Christmas presents. It will be going out to the Homestead property. Now these grow bags are going to be leaving. This is where my new hydroponic system build out will be. I think grow bags have their place, but for my yard, they just didn't work that great. But I still used them. Is that ladybug larva? I don't know. No, maybe. Can't quite tell. I used to have a bunch of them in my greenhouse, but you could see we've got some carrots growing in here, and I'm going to harvest all of that just because this is going to be getting rolled over really soon. I don't even think I'll get anything out of most of these unless I'm really strategic about it. It's a little loud in my greenhouse. I have my flowers I'm overwintering in here. And we have zucchini. This is supposedly the Partheno carpet kind that will be self-fertile. We'll see. I don't put a whole lot of stock in that. I will come out and hand pollinate. I have my peppermint balsam that I'm overwintering in here. We have some red beans growing. This is a, oh look, I've got a baby bean. Woohoo! Supposedly, I did plant zucchini in here. It looks like I finally got one to come up, but this bag's not doing anything. And then I have another volunteer tomato. This guy's growing out of the crack, which I don't know how because I have bacterial wilt in here and it should be deceased, but here we are. My onions that need to desperately go out, and the channel mascot, my coleus, as well as some dandelions in the back there, and some snapdragons, all of which I will put out eventually. And then you see my seed starting station. These are all of our peppers we started in that last video, just hanging out. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. This was just a quick little garden tour, trying to document what worked and really what didn't work in my yard this year, and where it was. You know, it's the only way. I try new things every year. Obviously, you know, next year, will I take up as much space growing purple broccoli? No, now I know. So these videos kind of keep me in check and are important documenting tools in that way. So if you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up. And if you're into gardening and homesteading content, I encourage you to subscribe. And until next time, stay blessed.